They say the legends are not defined by their success, by the impact they have had on the lives of others. So, friends, esteemed members of Maharashtra Ophthalmological Society, and the friends and family of our celebrated legend of today, Dr. B.K. Naik sir, I, Dr. Vardhaman Kankriya, as the chairperson of the scientific committee of MOS, welcome you all. It is a great pleasure and honor to embark on this new episode of our esteemed MOS Legend series, where we come together to recognize and also to celebrate our remarkable legends. Dr. Naik's journey is not just of professional excellence, but also of unwavering dedication to our professional societies like MOS and AIOS at large. And as the former president of both this prestigious organization and a pioneer of glaucoma, especially in our state, Sir has left an indelible mark on our community of ophthalmology. Today, we gather to honor Dr. Naik sir. Let us not only celebrate sir's achievements, but also reflect on the profound impact he has had on all of our lives. Let us draw inspiration from his example as we continue to strive for excellence in our own endeavors. So we are very, very lucky. And first of all, I would like to thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation on behalf of MOS and to give us the honor to celebrate your life today. Now, before going further, I would like to invite our very enthusiastic, dynamic, great support, great guide, somebody who is a great team member and who has always helped our team to reach our goals at the highest level. Our own president, Dr. Santosh Agarwal, sir. So I would like to welcome, sir, and I would like to also request you to give your presidential address.
Thank you, Dr. Vardhaman, for your kind words. So, respected Dr. B.K. Nayak, sir, today's real Nayak, hero, legend, starcast, our mentor, our guiding force, an astute academician, a good teacher, an acclaimed leader, marathoner, and a man with a difference. I welcome you all and your family members, friends, on behalf of MOS to this distinguished webinar, Legendary Masterclass. The true legend is a master of many crafts, continually evolving and inspiring across different facets of life. Thanks, sir, for accepting our invitation. Sir, I have been observing you for very beginning of my career. I find you a very disciplined person, simple living and high thinking. There are a lot more things to be learned from you. Today, I request you to enlighten us through your huge experience, your life story, whatever messages, pearls you desire to be told to all of us, especially our young ophthalmologist. Legendary Masterclass by MOS is meant for the same purpose to learn from our legends. So, again, I welcome you, sir. Also, I thank my MOS team, Dr. Vardhaman, Atul, Aditi, Mandar, for the unwavering and continuous support for the legendary masterclass and similar projects. Thanks for offering me the opportunity to speak. Over to Vardhaman, please.
Thank you very much, sir. So before we go further, of course, we all know that Dr. B.K. Naik sir requires absolutely no introduction when it comes to our ophthalmology fraternity in MOS also, of course, at large at AOS as well. But as a formality, of course, I'm going to now showcase certain few important, let's say, highlights of sir's life. One second. So, friends, as we just saw, we are looking at somebody who is a legend who has always led from the front. We have seen it in so many examples in our own interactions with sir. Absolutely a passionate researcher, was a great torchbearer to take IGO to the great heights, a transformational organizational leader that we have all learned from, of course, and the most meticulous, the most punctual, and of course, the most hardworking person that I have seen in AIOS and also in MOS. And beyond that, sir has been also a great family man, a great support for his family, and a great role model for the family also. So, just looking at a brief introduction of sir, as we all know, Dr. B.K. Naik sir is currently holding the post as the consultant ophthalmology and the head of ophthalmology section at the prestigious PD Hinduja National Hospital and Medical Research Center since 1987 for extremely long time. Sir is, of course, a professional life member of dozens of different very prestigious ophthalmic societies. But more importantly, he has had transformational effect on many of these societies when he has actually led from the front as the president of Glaucoma Society of India, as the president of the Manual Small Incision Cataract Surgery Society, as the past president of All India Ophthalmological Society, as the former president of also the Maharashtra Ophthalmological Society. Sir has been a trailblazing chief editor of our beloved Indian Journal of Ophthalmology and also the founder chief editor for Global Journal of Cataract Surgery and Research in Ophthalmology, which is the flagship journal for MSICS Society. Sir has been a great contributor to AIOS also as the honorable secretary for two terms in 2014 to 2000 and sorry for one term which is 2014 to 2017, and sir has laid from the front and actually made transformational changes in the way the All India Ophthalmological Society works, especially the database correction, getting more transformational, transparent systems into AIOS in general. Sir has been organizing secretary for both AIOS, which was the DreamCon in Mumbai in 2022, and organizing secretary for also the Glaucoma Society of India annual conference two times, which was 2011 and 2015. Sir has also been the founder and immediate past editor of our own MOS flagship journal, which is the Journal of Clinical Ophthalmology and Research. And Sir has been also been the past editor of the Journal of Bombay Ophthalmological Association, past president of AIOS, MOS, and BOA as well. Sir has done corneal transplants as well. He has done almost 125 corneal transplant surgeries in his career. He has done more than 30 live surgery demonstrations. He has, most importantly, Sir has conducted very regularly a 2-day seminar on research methodology that has been conducted throughout the country, and that has been the backbone of IGO and also the backbone of the research that is going on from the corners of India. Sir has conducted more than 60 instruction courses in AIOS, delivered more than 500 talks at various national and international meetings, and conducted a hugely popular and successful series of webinars as also the General Secretary of AIOS. Sir has received many very prestigious awards and orations. Just to name a few, this has been Dr. Albel Oration by Deccan Ophthalmological Society, Dr. A.N. Pandya Oration awarded by the Bihar Ophthalmological Society, Nirhans India Oration Award by for Best Presentation by the Bombay Ophthalmological Association, Professor L.P. Agarwal Oration by RP Center of Ophthalmic Sciences, which is our apex organization. Sir has been also the International Master Teacher Award recipient by BOA, a gold medal which was given by BOA, a prestigious B.T. Muscati Memorial Award which was given for extraordinary work in the field of ophthalmology, and has received a very prestigious Distinguished Service Award by the Asia Pacific Academy of Ophthalmology in Tokyo in 2014. Sir has written multiple books, and of course, Sir has a huge number of peer-reviewed publications that he has had in his career. Sir has been a great mentor to many students for both DNB as well as training them for glaucoma. And most importantly, I think for most of us who is the MOS team, Sir has been a great guide, a fatherly figure. Sir has always guided us on the correct path and also always told us the right way of doing everything. So, Dr. B.K. Naik, sir, it is our great honor to have you here with us today. And we are all looking forward to learn from you and from your life story. Thank you very much, sir. So if I could request now Dr. B.K. Naik sir to say a few words and also give his masterclass, which sir has named as uh, the last lecture. And I'm sure that this is going to be absolutely, let us say, a full amalgamation of the all life's learnings that sir has had so far, and we will learn a lot from it. Thank you so much, sir.
Just a minute. Let me first go back to the first slide.
Yes, sir. Sir, you can drag the cursor. Yeah, yeah. Right.
Yeah. So okay.
Perfect. Yes.
And now. Mhm.
So you can just go to the play button.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
Or otherwise, I'll go to Shift F5 so that it comes to the screen. It should come.
Sir, if you could make it once again, I think we can.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect.
Now it is. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. My seniors, colleague, budding ophthalmologists, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I am really thankful to Dr. Santosh Agrawal, the president of Maharashtra Ophthalmological Society, Dr. Vardhaman Kankaria, chairman scientific committee, who is really enthusiastic
Thanks.
of MOS, and the entire managing committee of MOS for really giving me this opportunity. I am really overwhelmed. And first of all, when I heard about this, when Vardhaman called up and told me that this is what, then immediately I got a surprise that I thought, how come, means why I am being selected? But anyway, after some time, I thought they must have thought something. And incidentally, whatever probably means Dr. Vardhaman just now introduced, in whatever words he introduced me, probably you will find the gist of that, whatever he introduced into my this lecture. Now, I am sure that everyone must be wondering that what is this last lecture all about? Because you see what happened in USA, Carnegie Mellon University, there is a tradition that every year one person is allotted and they are asked to give a last lecture. And this indicates, and the meaning of this last lecture is that what will you talk if you have to give your talk just before your death? And incidentally, Randy Pausch, who was a professor and great computer scientist, and when he was allotted this topic, he accepted it. Unfortunately, immediately at the age of 47, he was diagnosed with advanced GI cancer. And then he was told that you have only a couple of months. Then he was in a dilemma whether to deliver this lecture because he wanted to spend his time with his wife and three children who were 11 months, 3 years, and 5 years of age. So you can imagine his mental status. But ultimately, he decided that since he is going to die, so why not give something? And he titled this talk as Achieving Your Childhood Dreams. And this was really a masterpiece. And he gave this talk with the idea that I will not be there, that at least my children and students will take inspiration from this talk. And this is what really it was. So I'm definitely, I will recommend that every one of you should go to YouTube and you should listen to his last lecture. That's a really masterpiece. Now he had, he was a great scientist, great man. He had all these dreams in childhood, being in zero gravity, playing in NFL, National Football League, then authoring in the World Book Encyclopedia, being Captain Kirk, winning stuffed animals, and being a Disney Imagineer. And ultimately, he had explained in his talk everything he could achieve. He was really a great man. But for me, it was a big challenge to prepare for this talk, and because I thought, what should I talk in subject? Because there are so many teachers, so many bright students and speakers, and in 25 minutes, I am not really going to give something different. So why not talk about, I mean, something on that line? So it was really very, very difficult. So just let's see how it has gone. Uh, you must have guessed that I am not going to talk anything or dwell on any medical subject. There are so many teachers, as I said earlier. So these are I am amongst you, and I really feel elated that I have been given this opportunity. So my sweet and bitter experiences of my life may, they will in some way or other help you in your life. The This is directly primarily for the uh, young ophthalmologist who really, who has his entire career in front of him. Now, a quick outline of this journey of my life, that I was not born with a silver spoon. And this was something which, say, I was born in a small town where, and that time, because I'm talking about 60 years or 70 years back, that time, the only outside world connection for me was limited to newspaper, radio, library, and imaginary world of films. And there, I come from a, as I said, it's a small town with a very humble background. My father was a honest, respected, and reputed teacher, while my mother, though uneducated, but was very intelligent. And both of them have inculcated means many things, many values, values of ethics, values of hard work and honesty. And that has really shaped my career, whatever way means I thought that I have been today. And there in my town at that time there was no electricity. So at night during summer days, just to beat the summer, I used to sit in the field playground on a mat with lantern and for studies. So it means really I burnt midnight oil for doing all this. Means whatever I was thinking that I am, and that time definitely I had no dream because it was hardly any. Means that time, means as I said, my connection was only radio and no television that time. So it was only newspaper and radio. So I had no dream. And it's a very important that APJ had said, dreams are not those that we see during our sleep. They should be the one that never let us sleep. I already told you that I was not with any silver spoon. And what I probably, these are my alma mater, that this was my schooling, which I'll just describe a little bit more. The Patna Medical College for graduation, then All India Institute of Medical Sciences, RP Center, and after that Royal Perth Hospital in Australia, Perth, and after that in Hinduja Hospital. Now, the some of the things which, sorry, the whatever achievements I value is all, I think everything he has enumerated, Vardhaman. But achievement for me was not getting these posts, but the fact that I was personally satisfied with whatever I did in my capacity while holding that post. And also it was well appreciated. So that really gave me happiness. I wanted to be in the means a teaching post, but God had something else in plan. And so I could not get in. I wanted an RP Center faculty post, but I could not get in. And ultimately landed in Mumbai, Hinduja Hospital, a private hospital. But I started giving talks in different way. and that in very simplified way. That made me miss. I thought it was very popular, and that really sometimes some of the say professors and teachers they tell me that sir, I had listened to your talk 30 years back, and still I remember that, and still I follow that. So that really gives me a great satisfaction. So these are all, everything has been enumerated by Vardhaman. And when I look back, I thought there was three eureka moments in my life. One was admission in my school. In the school, I'll tell you a little bit about that. Admission in RP Center, All India Institute of Medical Science, Delhi, and being elected as editor IJO. This was my school. This was a residential school. The here getting admission was very tough. At the between age of 10 and 12, say with me, 45,000 students appeared, and at the level of level of examination, and after that 60 seats means only 60 had to be selected. So that means I feel lucky that I really got selected in that. And this is all in the hilly area, tribal area, where no other except the tribal people, you will not find anyone in that area. But that school was really, it's a it's performance something which is enviable. Now, what advantage I got because of that? That at the formative stage, that put me with geniuses. Because I'll tell you why. Because everyone, no one used to be except say, out of 60, two students. That time, even passing in first division was a great achievement. So only one or two students used to be in second division, all in first division, all in the merit list. 50 out of 15, top 15 in the state, at least 13 would be from this school. So this school also taught me value of simplicity in life, value of ethics, and all around development was the motto of this school. After that, when I did my graduation, then definitely getting admission in All India Institute of Medical Science. Ophthalmology, of course, was my subject choice. The reason was, one of the reason was that I like that subject. The second, I thought it's a small eye, how much you have to read. And especially in MBBS, I thought this, I don't have to read much. But that was just short lived, this happiness. Because when I joined All India Institute, because of ophthalmology, probably I could get in this. And when I joined there, then I came to know immediately on second day that there are 15 volumes of Duke Elders, and you have to read all of them. And some of the volume has got two parts. So so it was entirely I mean it's a different experience and a different feeling altogether, but then at least I got that opportunity. uh, this RP center means what I got from this, that I got a good training, good exposure, put me in the midst of elite class in intelligentsia. And that time, probably I will not hesitate in telling that this was the only institute which was really modern and up to the mark. And it showed the way later on to the entire country. Now there are many institutes now, but that time this was the only one. And this was unarguably this was the best teaching program. And I can also means I got advantage that once someone told me that you come and why don't you come as consultant in UK. I said I have never worked in UK. Then I was told that no, your training in RP center is good enough to give you that. Then immediately I wrote a letter to them, the equivalence of training committee of College of Physicians, Royal College of Surgeons. Then I got a reply that yes, your because of your experience in RP center and training, you are entitled or you are eligible for consultant post. So that was the benefit, and that was really means it's a great value which was added in my life. And above all, I met my wife Chitra. She has made means immense sacrifices and compromises to see me in this stage today, means whatever in my entire life. I am really indebted to her, and I take this opportunity to thank her for her support and contributions. And I'm sure most of you have met her, and she is very friendly with everyone. Now, the third Eureka moment was becoming editor, and this was really the greatest Eureka moment of my life. It was again like a dream coming true. I had never really dreamt that I can. It's not even dreamt that I can take up this job. But when the result, I don't know, some of you might be there in Bhubaneswar when the first time this elections was held in Bhubaneswar at 3:30 in the morning, the result, and that time it was all physical vote counting. And so there were only 1109 people had voted, and in 1109 there were 5 candidates, and it took, I mean, up to 3:30 in the morning the results were declared. And just by sheer luck and with all support of you members, I got elected with only with 9 votes. But that time I really started crying. I said, no, this result should not have come. This is wrong. And and then I can, means I don't know, means what I started thinking. I thought, now let me go and put up my resignation letter immediately. Then I thought, okay, let me sleep. I went to sleep at 5 o'clock, got up at 8. Then I got courage, and I thought, no, if some means I should do something meaningful for the fraternity because I have got this opportunity. And ultimately, I did that, got satisfaction, got appreciation, got recognition, and learned to take up a challenge. And in this, then at 8 o'clock in the morning, when I got up, then I thought, no, if some means, of course, I know this is a very big challenge. If some person has done it, can do it, then why not I? So this was the feeling. I thought, no, let me put up my whole, means whatever strength and whatever energy I have got. And this was really the greatest challenge in my life, I suppose, because I thought that time that there is no challenge big enough which cannot be conquered. And if someone has done it, others also can do it. And this elected as editor, experience in editor was limited to a state. I mean, earlier, why it was difficult? Because that time experience was very limited, only for state and city journals. That also was not peer-reviewed journals. I was not working in any ophthalmic institution. Perception of our members that, oh, this fellow cannot do only RPs, only LB Prasad can do this journal editorship. But I visualized IGO to be recognized as face of Indian ophthalmology and to the ophthalmic world and work towards it. And I thought I will not let it down. And that really helped me. Now, you should develop faith that I can do it. This is what I did. If one person can do something, as I told you earlier, and commitment and dedication are must. I studied in depth topics on publication, statistics, and research. In the first 2 years of editorship, just imagine, I used to spend 10 to 12 hours every day for IGO without fail. Means this was an honorary post, and which was equivalent to 70 to 80 hours per week. Remember, in US, you cannot work more than 40 hours per week, means 8 hours per day for 5 days max for a paid job. So this was the difference, which really that I did, and it helped. When I learned myself, I started research methodology workshop, which also enabled me to fulfill my dream of being a teacher, because I told earlier that I wanted to be a teacher. So at least now I thought, and then I really got so happy when some of the delegates used to come. They came and attended from RP Center itself. So that really, I mean, then I thought that, oh, now at least I am doing something which is useful for the society and people are appreciating. So, and this also because of teaching, it gave me better understanding of the subject. Some pearls from my life that follow ethics. There will be no guilt anytime if you follow that. You will sleep well and overall mental and physical well-being. And I definitely, give you one example, which really I admire. I just came across this person, not face to face, but just heard him on radio about 2 months back. What are the interview? Because always I used to criticize that all those big people, celebrities, they advertise wrong things, which is not good, only for money. So I never give them value if they are doing this. But when I this interview, the person known as Sangram Singh, who is a wrestler, when he was child, he was suffering from rheumatoid arthritis. Doctor, and he could not walk. Doctors told him and the parents that this disease will go only after his death, and he's not going to live only for a couple of months. He's going to live. That time it was so advanced. But his determination, he worked hard. He said, when my mother used to give massage, a doctor advised against massage, but he said, my mother gave me 15 times massage, sometimes per day. And later on, he became wrestling champion, world champion. But this is not great. This is, of course, great because of determination. But what I'm going to describe now, in 2011 or 12, when he came to Bombay, in his account, he had only 1,900 some odd rupees. Within a week, he got an offer from a soft drink company that you become our brand ambassador and we will pay you 2.5 crores. Imagine he had less than 2,000 rupees in his account and he was offered 2.5 crores. He refused. And why? Because he said, I cannot do injustice with public. If I don't feel it is good, I am not taking it. I cannot take it for health reason. Then how can I promote this? And whole day I will be doing baimani. And at night, how can I sleep? And then even the managing director rang him up and said, why don't you do? You are a celebrity. You have a fan following. Your pictures will be there, hoardings everywhere in the city, all over. He still didn't budge. So that's really a man probably I admire. And I think I have yet to find another person like him. And now for my friends, young friends, don't become slave to technology. Like people all talk about femtosecond laser, cataract surgery, flaps, bladeless surgery, imaging devices, expression, mix, whatnot, whatnot. But you assess yourself. You have to find out what is the evidence. If you are convinced, then only you do this. And just my suggestion is put the commercial aspect at the background. Means if you feel it is good, then you do it. If not, then don't run after money. And for commercial reason, don't start doing it. And one of the tests which I do, means which I always suggest, that if any advice you can give to your son or daughter or your parents, you are entitled to give the same, I mean, you should give the same advice to the patients, then you are doing justice to your patients and you are the right person and you are following ethics and you will really sleep well at night. Now, develop a passion for imparting knowledge because teaching is the best way of learning. And these topics, because there are some of my many topics, but some of the favorite topics, but they looks very simple. But this really gave me recognition. Perimetry, I started talking 35 years back. And some of them, as I told you earlier, that some of the professors, head of department, when they now meet me, they said, sir, I had listened to your talk on perimetry 30 years back, and that was the thing which I still follow. And I still remember that. So that gives satisfaction. So one advice that when you're talking to anyone, public or students or your fellow colleagues, don't just talk hi-fi things. Just talk simple. It will be taken well. You will be listened to with attention. If you start talking something which is very hi-fi technical, then within 2 minutes, these days very difficult, very easy to get distracted, and immediately they will all delegate will turn into their mobile and WhatsApp and social media. So just be simple. You will be appreciated more. I can assure you. definitely you will be appreciated. Don't think that, oh, I am talking simple, that's why people say, "Arey, isko kuch aata nahi hai." No, it is not like that. And what doctors don't know, how to manage time. And for this, you have to follow a discipline and punctuality. Means I'm sure many of you who have worked with me must be knowing that I want everyone to be punctual. Any session, start in time, finish in time, and probably the Glaucoma Society of India, 3 meetings which I have done so far, and all of them had run exactly to its minute. And follow a well-designed routine, because that then you will definitely if you follow a routine, your life will be more organized. And develop observation power. Now it's this photograph is nothing, but every day my residents do this. They put up this ophthalmoscope. I have put up as an example, but just put up ophthalmoscope like this. It is very unsteady. Even a slide, if someone walking along, cloth will touch, it will fall down. So immediately you should think. So develop observation. Always I point it out. Still very few who follow it. Means, so this is one example I am giving. So develop observation power. Now, 3 golden rules which I follow: transparency in all your work, which I always follow. Follow the set guidelines and rules, and do not deviate from this at any cost. And work-life balance, we doctors really don't know at all. This work-life balance is a concept including proper prioritizing between work and lifestyle, being aware of different demands on time and energy, and being able to allocate them judiciously. Now, you should know that work is not everything, and what work life balance is not, it does not mean that there must be equal balance across all aspects of an individual's life. The optimum work life balance will not remain static but will vary over time, and the best work life balance will be different for each person. So there is no one size which fits all. And your family needs work life balance, your children need, your spouse need, everyone needs. Because now again I will just uh, cite one example. Sometimes I say that we we work, some doctors are very happy. They say, my patients are never over before 12 o'clock midnight, or sometimes even past 12 midnight. But then I say, you are a fool. Because I can say, I'm not offending anyone, that we doctors, because I'm also a doctor, we doctors are glorified daily workers. Why glorified? Because we are not paid like a daily worker, means those menial workers, better paid off. And why daily worker? Because if I work today, I get money. If I don't work, I cannot get money. So remember that no one, means why do we work more? To become the richest man. You cannot become richest man. Forget about the means Elon Musk or Mukesh Ambani, or even in a city. Means it's very difficult for doctors, being a doctor, to become the richest man in your city. So if you cannot, then why are you working so much? Be happy, maintain work-life balance. Life is about balance. Too much and too little can kill. Set your boundaries in learning to say enough, because sometimes you should know also to tell that enough is enough, and you should say no. Remember, no man or woman is busy for all 365 days. The sky is not going to fall down if you take few days leave and meet your loved ones. Office work is not everything in life, and money making is not everything in life. And this short story, probably it will again, I think, inspire some of you, if you are not following work-life balance. That there was a small boy. So one day when father came at 11 o'clock midnight, 11 o'clock at night, he was awake. He was waiting outside. Then the father said, "Why are you awake so much?" He said, "No, dad, I just want to know one thing. Can you tell me how much do you make every hour?" So then he became a little angry, but still he said, "Yes, what is the problem? But I make $70 per hour." So, but when he said that, then he became angry, And he said, then after that, the boy asked that, Dad, can you give me $25? Then really he got angry. And he said, just for this $25, you are awake till 11 o'clock. You are asking me silly questions. So go to your bed. Then the boy went. Then when the father went to kitchen, then he realized that he has not eaten today. Then he felt guilty and came to his room. And then he said, my son, I was really upset. So now here is your $30. The child was unmoved. And what he did, he collected that. And then he picked out something, started picking underneath his pillow, some more dollars. And then he quietly started counting one by one. Then really father got furious that you had so much money, enough, and still you did that. Then the child was again unmoved. After finishing the counting, then the child smiled, said, Father, earlier I didn't have enough money, but now I have. Can you guess what? He said, here is your $70. Can you come tomorrow? 1 hour before. I want to have dinner with you. So I'm sure probably some of you will take lesson from this and develop interest in games, active involvement in it, because it will keep you fit and healthy. Active mind works better. That is definitely a known fact. And learn to cope up with defeat, because the difference in exam and others, suppose if I appear in exam today, I will come to know about the result after a month. But in game, immediately you will come to know the result. So that time, immediately you will learn how to cope up with successes and defeat. And so after age of 60, earlier I used to play some different games, badminton and all. After 60, I started running marathon, and after that, every time I have ran, even the full marathon, 42K also I have done. And philosophy of being happy, the happiest people don't have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything, whatever they have. So follow this principle and do not dream. Narendra Modi, I know it's a little political statement, but he had said about a couple of years back, do not dream to become something, but do dream to do something. So always do dream to do something, and always enjoy. Don't think that anything is just put on me. Don't consider it as a burden. Own what you do and enjoy whatever you do. And these are those pearls which I already enumerated. Follow ethics, do not become slave to technology, out of the box thinking, time management, punctuality, follow well designed routine, develop observation power, and take up a hobby. And there was a nurse who was taking care of all terminally ill people in last 12 weeks of their life. She did some study, and what came out in that study, so that I wish there means all dying people's wish. I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself and not to life others expect of me. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. I wish that I had let myself be happier. Last advice. Some of you, and I'm sure there are many talents in Maharashtra, and I want to push them up, but it doesn't come easily. So if those who want to go higher and higher, especially go to the All India Ophthalmic Society level, so there means no other person can push you there. You have to make your own effort. The way that I did, actually, I had no godfather. So everything I just thought what to do. Like, so what my basic principle, whatever you do, the responsibility is given, do it with your utmost sincerity. You keep your own interest at the background, and so always others interest first and interest at large in public. So those things if you consider, and whatever best you can do, if you do that sincerely, I'm sure people will take a note of it. And for us, the one good thing is also about, say, giving lectures. And giving lectures, you may be popular in your own state, and people will appreciate. But there are more than 30 states in India, so you have to be popular in all states. So on regular basis, and without, just show that you are amongst one of them, not that you are alone and you are on top and others are just inferior. So if the day that feeling you will convey, no one will appreciate you. So you have to be, I think, I'm sure all those who earlier used to see Raj Kapoor's movie, Raj Kapoor was very popular. And one of the reason is, always, he used to, say, play the role of a common man, a helpless man, whether it is avar or anything, helpless man. So audience, in sitting in the audience, majority used to think, oh, he is one of us, like that. Not like the big people who are all, means like Rajesh Khanna and all, who are ki bigdel baap ka bada shahzada, aisa. So like that. So then, miss, maybe he was popular, he was superstar, that thing. And finally, acknowledge inability to do, because I wanted to do something which I couldn't do. Really, I wanted solo performance on a stage, whether it is singing, dancing, or something like that. I don't know. In early days, I didn't develop interest. Later on, when I developed interest, probably I thought that Mrs. Days are gone or I have no time. But still, I joined dancing class of Samak Davar, and in this is participation in their summer funk. And later on, in one of our hospitals, means a regular feature, I used to participate in the uh, annual day function. So this the lighter note.
Yeah, let's do it soon. Go like the full moon with the stars in the sky. Ecstasy on the line. Your gallons don't lie. Your babies don't shy. Your lady's my mind. प्यार के चर्चे हर ज़बान पर सबको मालूम है और सबको खबर हो गई आजकल तेरे मेरे प्यार के चर्चे हर ज़बान पर सबको मालूम है और सबको खबर हो गई Time to get up, now time to get up, yeah.
This is also a type of pleasure and satisfaction. And the previous clip, when the Shamak's Davas class was summer funk, one of the, along with that, my daughter also was in the same class. So she was also performing in the same group. So thank you very much. And thank you again, Dr. Santosh Agrawal, Dr. Vardhaman Kankadia, and entire MOS for considering me for this. And really means it's still I don't know whether I justified or not getting this, but since you have chosen it, so I accept it gladly and humbly. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I think we have learned so many unknown facets and aspects about Dr. Naik sir today. It was really nice, very heartwarming to know. And of course, we have learned a lot. We have learned a lot because of the life pearls that you have shared. All of us who have had the honor and pleasure of working along with you, especially in MOS, have always tried to live up to your standards and your expectations. And the bar is actually, we all know that is very high. And we have always known that if it is something that we have to work along with Dr. B.K. Naik sir, then the aspects of punctuality, hard work, meticulousness has to be there in the work. Otherwise, of course, it is impossible to make sir satisfied because sir is a taskmaster. So thank you so much, sir, for sharing all your life pearls with all of us, with all the young ophthalmologists and all our members also. So, sir, you have very nicely described, and it was very nice to know that the impact that your family, especially your parents, have had on your life, and some of the embodiments that you have, some of the personality traits that you have, including the highest level of ethics, meticulousness, and hard work has and simplicity has come from your parents. And also, you have mentioned that how hard it was for you to get into that school where you had been selected amongst so many thousands. And I'm very happy to have one of your friend who has been very kind to share a nice video about that experience. So I'm going to just share with you, sir. So just 1 second. Yes. So I
How
hope
did you
I hope it
how
is.
did you go how
Huh?
did you catch him, Paras?
That's a secret. Yes.
I am Paras Chaudhary, a very old friend of Dr. Barun Nayak, who was better known as Barun in our school days. We studied together in the same residential school known as Netherhart School from 1963 to 1968. We were both about 11 years old at that time, and the school was located in the picturesque hilly belt and the tribal belt of Jharkhand state. We used to have only 12 students in one hostel and 2 dormitories in every hostel. So there were about 10 students in every dormitory. It was a matter of chance that I and Barun were in the same dormitory for nearly 3 years in that school. Now, a little bit about Barun, what I remember about him from that time. He was a very shy student, very soft spoken, never picked up any fight with other students, always ready to help others. Overall, a very likely personality. Barun was fond of cricket in those days. I don't know about today. He used to be a bowler, also was a long distance runner, and I was very poor at running. But Barun continued with that running spree, and even now he runs a marathon in Bombay very regularly and completes the full distance. It was very clear from the time we studied together that he will go too far in life. He was a studious fellow and also very disciplined. After we left the school, we lost touch for a while. Then we met briefly in Delhi and again relocated in Bombay after several years. And then I realized how far he has reached. And from being a shy student, he has become a very well known doctor for eye. I wish him all the very best. And I also congratulate him for the well deserved award he is getting. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, sir. So, any comments, sir, about those times and also about Dr. Sharma, sir, and your friends?
No, Miss, there really means it's heartening to listen. It was a surprise. I didn't know that Paras is coming live on this, and we were in the same dormitory in the hostel, and I remember that time Miss Paras was definitely because his father was a manager in sugar mill. So it's for us it was a great thing. And so I used to always think, "Arey, ye to bahut bada aadmi hai." But then later on, when we met in Delhi again and in Bombay, and of course he occupied a very big post in tire industry in JK Tires, and so then I realized that, and I told you in my talk that school, because you will be surprised to know that sometimes in UPSC exams all over the country, ranking out of 15, 5 or 6 would be from our school.
Wow.
So that means that I don't think any school, even Doon or Sindhia, those schools are because they are all for high profile people. But this school was where for everyone, just on merit. And there, based on the income of the parents, the charging used to take place. So some of the students whose father's income that time, because I'm talking about in 1960, that if the parents' income is less than 100 rupees per month, everything was free. Everything, even the during vacation, going home and coming back, that fare also was paid for. So that gave me really means a advantage, that being amongst geniuses like Paras in Bombay itself, from 60, there were 5 students from our school. One was IAS. He is also now retired and working with Adani. Then there was one who was in the income tax. Other one was in the revenue department. So all really means it's attained great positions.
Great.
And of course, there was one batch senior to me. He became deputy governor of RBI, and he was the very honest person. His name was Mr. Anand Sinha.
So, sir, from very humble backgrounds, I think with your own sheer hard work, sincerity, and importance to education. So, I think your parents had, although with such humble background, they always had importance for education, is
Oh
what I'm.
yes, because my father was a teacher,
He was a teacher, exactly. I
and
think.
he was a very reputed, and because that time people used to say just to take tuition from him. He never used to take anyone, और कभी जो अमीर का बाप का बेटा है उसको नहीं लेते थे. वो बोलते पहले मैं तुमको देखूंगा, फिर उसके बाद then I will take, and then you have to follow my discipline, my rule, and don't come to me because you will think that because I am teaching you, so I will tell you the questions.
Right.
That was his ethics.
Great. So, sir, I think from very early childhood, you were exposed to this very high level of moral values that, of course, you embodied them and practiced them throughout your life and demonstrated to all of us that how important are those values and role models. Sir, when you went to, of course, you studied well. You went into RPC, as you said. This was one of the Eureka moments and the highlights. Can you share like a single incidents from or like whatever you want to share from the RPC days where you actually thought that now with this learning you can really make it big in life?
No, to be frank, I never thought in RP Center that I will really, because I was always thinking that after this, I don't know what will I do. But later on, I developed some interest in teaching, so I wanted to be there. But unfortunately, I could not. And means something which is really, it's a small thing that because there was so much political interference in selection that I went to even high Supreme Court with a writ. So I will not dwell any further on this because this is just a hint that how much I was aggrieved and how much I was even say from that time itself I was very aggressive that no, how can it happen to me?
So, but I think Delhi's or RPC's loss was our gain that you came back to Maharashtra and you have contributed so much here in this new Karma Bhumi. Sir,
Yes,
and
I'm really happy that I came to Maharashtra, Bombay, and everyone accepted me because no one thought that I am from outside, and to be frank enough, when I in the beginning when I thought of coming here, then I went to Jaslok Hospital. There the director was Doctor. Just I forgot. He had come from AIMS, RPC. I mean, it's All India Institute. He was so from there. He had Dr. Keshwani. So because I was from AIMS, so he spent 1 hour with me, and after listening to everything, he said, "My advice is that you go back to Delhi, and you have no place in Bombay."
uh,
So I don't know because he said you have not studied here, so you don't have any friends or batchmates or some seniors or juniors who can refer patients to you,
right.
and you don't have background over here, and so all those things will nothing will help you. But ultimately, I don't know. It's probably Hinduja gave me opportunity, and there again the work over there, the sincere work, nothing else that
That,
helped. This is what I thought.
Absolutely, sir. I think it is a great role model to understand that if even if with all these drawbacks in the city, your sheer hard work has actually made sure that not only as a professional in ophthalmology, but also in all the other facets, you could grow and also become such a role model for us. And of course, sir, as
And there at that time, I think, I don't know how many of you have seen, because that was our college days, Tere Mere Sapne, Devanand.
there in Sapne,
In
yes.
that, it's a medical life in Bombay, doctor, and how patients are referred even to the incompetent doctors for money. So all those things. So that also was in my mind, but somehow or other, means it's I think the means just I give full credit to Hinduja Hospital and the support from Hinduja.
Great, sir. Sir, and primarily as a specialty, you had your training in vitreoretina in Australia.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I started also, I basically in the when Professor, I was with Professor Constable, and so he gave
Pioneer,
me,
legendary figure.
yes, pioneer, and that time even the later on who became president of APAO, the cataract this thing, that Graham Barrett. So he
Oh,
was means we worked together for some time. Then I replaced his position for some time. So those things. But in the beginning, so what I learned from Professor Constable, that if you want to be a surgeon, you have to be gentle to tissues. Number one. Number two, you cannot remain restricted, because he used to do corneal grafting. He used to do squint surgery. Even after coming back from there, I started doing squint and cataract together. Because earlier I never thought that I will do, because I thought it's a squint is separate, and of course I was doing a squint but separately. But that, so that in the beginning I started doing everything, but later on the time changed. And one thing which I realized, I don't know, I should express this because I have not told this publicly anywhere, that I thought that in Mumbai, that time when I came in 1987. So that time in Mumbai for vitreoretina, Shankar Netralaya was sold. So Shankar Netralaya, if anyone coming from Shankar Netralaya, means immediate recognition and success.
Right.
So that really put me off. And later on, then, as I said, I was doing everything. Squint, except oculoplasty, I was doing everything. So then later on, I thought I have to choose one. So why not move to the anterior segment? So ultimately did that. And again, one confession, that glaucoma is not that by choice I came to glaucoma. I was forced to take glaucoma because perimetry, computerized perimetry of Humphrey, our hospital was the first one in the country to acquire, even before Shankar Netralaya and RP Center. So that time and I had very little work. So always I used to sit on the machine, and any patients doing myself and learning about that. So that's how in Bombay everyone started referring, and I never took away any patients of anyone. Anyone referred for perimetry just used to do perimetry and send them back. Never even gave advice. Even sometimes patient used to pay a consultation charge and say that I want consultation. I said no, because you have been sent to me for this test, so I will do that, and then you go. That doctor is competent, he will guide you. But he said नहीं, अगर मैं बाद में आऊँ तो I said, okay, next day, if you come anytime, if you say make the paper, then I have got no right to refuse. But so this really helped, because once I remembered Ranjit Manyar told me in a meeting that this fellow I started admiring, because I used to send patients for perimetry and all my patients came back. Not even a single patient was taken away. So those are the things which really helped me in establishing.
Great, sir. Great, sir. So I think these are the virtues, I think, that help you. And those virtues you had inculcated, as you said, right from the very early childhood. So how much of childhood, like let's say, translates into life and life success is what we understand. Sir, but in your early times, like in Mumbai, were there any people who really helped you? Were there any role models that you looked up to in India or in Mumbai, anywhere?
Is in India that time, because that many conferences were not there. So it's a very limited exposure on the conferences. So, which of course, there was some, like in Shankar Netralaya, of course, Badrinath was everyone's role model.
Right, sir.
And even the Nam Perumal Swami from the Arvind, he
Right.
was again role model for everyone. And later on, when L.V. Prasad was opened, then he was role model. So, but the maximum influence which probably I got was from Professor L.P. Agrawal from RP Center. So he basically always used to tell, nobody has died of hard work. So, and there is no shortcut to hard work.
Great. Sir, and now coming to, because these were your role models and LP Agarwal sir was your teacher, and your father was a teacher. You always wanted to be a teacher, as you said. And in Hinduja, I think they also run DNB programs, and also through that you have taught students, and you have also taught so many students by the virtue of your workshops. So, any memories that you have, like about your students or about this whole mentoring aspect?
One thing which means probably it's worth mentioning, because that really gave me means a lot of pleasure. That once I had gone to American Academy, then there I someone just met Sanjay Asrani. So Sanjay Asrani, because by then he had become some figure, world figure in glaucoma. So yes, we were talking, and that time I was editor of IGO. So we were talking about journal also and some other thing. Then he said, "Sir, do you know I have learned perimetry from you." I said, "How can it be?" Then he said, "No, I was a student in KEM, and you used to take class and in Hinduja Hospital, and I used to come and attend." So those things are something which unknowingly I thought that I am doing so much, and I am not appreciating myself, but people are really appreciating.
I think the teacher's influence, the teacher himself doesn't know where it leads or where it stops, because it goes beyond boundaries. And of course, it's a great example. And there is another example. There is a small video of one of your students who really adores you a lot, and he considers you as his both ophthalmic and life mentor. So he has been kind enough to share a few things about you, sir. So I'll just share
अरे
it.
ये कौन है?
Yes, sir.
Just my guesswork.
Yeah.
I thought he will be the one.
Yes. So we'll just make it full screen. I hope it is visible to everybody. Yes.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to take a moment to talk about someone really special to me. He is the Dr. Nayak. Nayak sir has been incredible mentor to me, both in my professional and personal life. I was lucky enough to be in his first group of DNB students at Hinduja Hospital. I was so touched when Dr. Kangaria mentioned, "You're gonna speak in this legendary session," and that I was one of Dr. Nayak sir's favorite students. I felt really honored. I just couldn't pass up the chance to share how much he means to me. Sir's dedication has not only raised the bar in the field of ophthalmology, but has also influenced the career of many aspiring ophthalmologists, including myself. Sir, you taught us so much more than just ophthalmology. You showed us the importance of compassionate care. I'll never forget my first day in Naik sir's operating room. He was already there when I walked in, and he glanced at me and then at the clock. Immediately, I understood, if you want to be in his good books, you have to learn punctuality and the discipline. These were my first two lessons. Sir, you are not just a mentor, but you are a shining example of ethical behavior and honesty. In current scenario, it's really difficult to have it. This is what I learned from him: how to inculcate ethical value system in your life and profession. That was my another lesson. There are so many amazing things about Sir. He's not only an outstanding surgeon, but good human being as well. But one thing that stands out in his perfectionism, he never settles for anything less than the best. I remember when he was the editor of IGO, he was juggling with the patients, administration, IGO work, family, and his hobbies like badminton. But I just want to tell you, he excelled in all arenas. It was really impressive. He even found time to go to Shamak Dava's dance school that time. We were all amazed at how he managed everything. It was quite a sight to see Dr. Naik practicing his dance moves in between surgical sessions. Really impressive. He's a fitness enthusiast too, excelling in the badminton, running marathon, and so many things. It's incredible how one person can have so many talents. Sir, thank you doesn't seem like enough for all you have done for me. I always send you a message on Guru Purnima, even though I know you don't see WhatsApp. I asked Chitra Auntie to pass on my message to you. Thank you, Auntie. I want to express my gratitude for your unwavering support, which has had huge impact on my life, both personally and professionally. Thank you, sir, on behalf of all your students. Congratulations for being conferred as Maharashtrian Ophthalmic Society legend, but for us, you are a living legend in the field of ophthalmology. We hope that your legacy will continue to inspire and guide us all. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Kankaria. Thank you, all the organizers. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you to Dr. Ilesh Jain. For those who don't know, he is the person behind the very, very high volume, very high tech, and absolutely very superbly managed Chitrakoot Eye Hospital. So, yes, yes, sir.
Yes,
Dr.
it was really, means I think so you have done a lot of homework. I thought it will be just whatever I will talk and then that will be over.
Uh, so, but such an impact you have on all the students. So, I think when I spoke to him, he was so touched and he was very, very, I think, enthusiastic. He wanted to speak about you. And of course, all these aspects of, as you said correctly, that because your father was a teacher, you also wanted to be a teacher and you have embodied that as well and made difference to so many of your students and beyond also realm of what you knew, like as you said about Dr. Asrani, who is in the US, and you have had impacted even lives of those people. So thank you, sir, on in that aspect as well. Sir, when it comes to the patient care, of course, I think all these virtues of a doctor, but I think for a doctor, patient always wants a doctor which is ethical. He always wants a doctor who will give a honest advice, who will see them on time. That is, of course, punctuality and all these aspects that you already had in your personality. So, in this vast career and legendary career that you have had, do you have any specific one or two patients' heartwarming stories that you have experienced in your career?
I miss really, I have to think there means which one to pick up.
I'm sure, sir.
So there are
Sir,
many patients. One I remember that means probably I will not name the doctors and then I'll just hide that name and tell. One patient was long back. He came to me. He was in 40s and he just came just with a suspicious manner into the clinic and then asked me, "ये डॉक्टर आप हो अच्छा आप देखते हो?" मैं कहा हाँ ये वो. So that day he just simply inquired and went. Then again he came a few days later and when I examined after that I said, ठीक है, you have just little bit of cataract, but अभी तो ऑपरेशन का कोई जरूरत नहीं है, so you wait and come back after 6 months or 9 months. Then after that means then again he became little because his suspicious smile was obvious and after some time then he said then I mean that time he didn't tell me anything. Then ultimately he said, no sir मैं तो ऑपरेशन कराऊंगा और मेरे को करने की जरूरत है और आप ही करेंगे. So ultimately I did that. Then after that he told me, sir, do you know why did I come, means why ultimately I got it done from you? That 1 year back I had gone to one doctor in Mumbai and he said within 3 months you get operated, otherwise your eyes are gone and then you don't come back to me. Then he was very health conscious, unmarried. He had to go to Pune because his father was not well. So he went there and 3 months gone. Then he thought, now I must be blind. Then he consulted one doctor in Pune. Then with the hope that he will say that now you are blind and nothing can be done. So he also said, get operated within 3 months, otherwise nothing can be done. So don't come back to me. Then after 6 months later, he came to me, and then I said, अभी तो कुछ भी अभी जरूरत नहीं है, अभी ऐसा wait करो. Then he said that I got impressed. And then he also said that when I told that I am a company person, the company will pay, he said there was no change in expression on your face. And then he started narrating some stories that how his friends went to some doctor, and the moment came to know that his company is going to pay, he said the person was taken to next room, literally stripped naked, and then so many things were told that you have to get this surgery done, you have to get this treatment done, and so many things. He said, so this I didn't see anything in you, and that's why I came to you and I got operated. So that means really means it's
Okay, sir.
something.
Yes, I think that is a great lesson to all our young ophthalmologists who are listening right now, because I think this is something that of the current generation patients would want from you. Of course, all the patients want the same thing, that they want the most ethical and the honest answer and the feedback about them. And as you have seen from Sir's story, if you do that, in fact, you will probably get more patients rather than losing patients. So I think that is a great lesson for all of them. So, sir, actually, with your
And
career,
Vardhaman, I don't know whether you remember or not. I
yes,
think
sir.
sometime I also told you
Yes,
that
sir.
अरे ऐसा follow करो कोई तकलीफ नहीं होगी. Means
Yes,
I think sometime in Delhi I told you, I remember,
yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I have,
during one of the conference, because I said you are very intelligent, or these things, no, means just do this and follow this. Means
right.
probably you will not repent.
Absolutely, sir. I think you have. I think in all my steps in my ophthalmic career, also especially in organizational career, you have been my go-to guide. And whenever I wanted any advice, you have told me the best things to do, and I tried my best to follow it. So thank you, sir, for also all your inputs. And you have always told me. I also remember that when I took up I was the honorary secretary of MOS. The first thing you told me that whenever anybody becomes MOS secretary, the first thing they should do is the database pura revamping. That is the first thing that is expected from the secretary, but nobody has done. So you told me at inauguration, I remember that this is the first thing I want you to do. I don't know whether you will do it or not, but I'm telling you that you should do it. But fortunately, I think probably you must be remembering that was the first year, I think in many, many years, that we completely revamped the MOS database. We gave them the new membership numbers. And I think it really streamlined the process. We conducted the first online elections because of that database the same year. So I think your contribution, sir, is not only your contribution. I think your contribution through people like me and our colleagues who have got influenced by you and contributed to the organization. That is also your contribution. Thank you so much, sir. So, sir, coming to the same aspect of your, let's say, organizational contribution to MOS and AIOS, many doctors, they always wonder, why do you have to work for such organizations? Why do you have to work for MOS? Why somebody should work for AIOS? So, sir, I would like to learn from you about why did you think about getting into the societies, organization, revamping them, and dedicating so much of time for IGO, AIOS, and MOS?
So this I think it is inherent. It is not that something which is because I remember the first time in Bombay, because Dr. Adi Dastoor, he was in our hospital, Hinduja Hospital. And then one day he told me, because he must have observed something, he told me that Nayak, uh, now you should come to the managing committee in BOA. So then I said, sir, I have not completed even 3 years. Then the moment I completed 3 years, then I took his advice and joined there. So after that, I think it just means I developed some passion that work with sincerity, whatever it is, work with sincerity. And it was miss, I don't know why I worked that way and what was the motivating force behind it. I really don't know. But ultimately, miss, so one step after another, just it went on appearing before me. So that was the miss journey. But I will admit today, because I'm very sincere. Means every day I'm sincere, but one thing I'll admit that I used to tell to my many friends that my golden period of my life should have been when I was president of AIOS. But then I started telling them, now I am repenting. Why did I got this post? I should not, means I should not, because it's a really, that was my worst period of my life. This is what I started thinking. एंड उस समय एक फिल्म का डायलॉग भी हम बोलते थे कुछ लोगों को, आई डोंट नो विच फिल्म में ये था, कि अगर तुमने ये ख्वाब देखा तो क्यों देखा, कि मीन्स व्हाई डिड आई ड्रीम दैट आई शुड बिकम एआईओएस प्रेसिडेंट और आई गो हायर इन एआईओएस, बट इट वाज जस्ट मीन्स डेस्टिनी, चांस, मीन्स स्टेप बाय स्टेप आई जस्ट वेंट ऑन, बट I think if I would not have got, probably I would have been happier, because I was really, I felt myself to be strangulated over there.
Yeah,
And
so
that's why after the moment my thing is over, I am just completely out and no one wants me there, because they know that I will be against everyone.
sir, on the same aspect, because I think the very virtues that you embody of ethics, of highest ethics, sincerity, and honesty are the things which lack in many organizations, as you know. And one of your colleagues actually wanted to highlight the same thing, sir. So I'm just going to share
अरे
a
यार, किसको
video.
किसको पकड़ा है? ये अशोक ग्रोवर तो नहीं है?
Nice, sir. Yes.
अच्छा. Oh.
So let me just take it on the full screen. I hope sir's video is visible and audible now. I'm going to share. Yeah.
I've known Dr. Varun Naik since several decades, perhaps shortly after he came back from Australia, and he was in Hinduja Hospital, where we knew the others in the department. But we became really close when I was president and he was the honorary secretary of AIOS, and Dr. Yogesh Shah was the treasurer. We met practically every week in his office and we became very, very close. There are few obvious traits of Varun. One is, I don't know whether you can call them admirable or not so admirable, depends on which side of the fence you are. He's fairly rigid in the sense that if he thinks he is right, he is not going to budge. He's not going to bend. He's not going to accommodate you very easily. If he is wrong, however, he will be the first to admit he is wrong and go ahead with whatever you are planning. He is non-corruptible. Unfortunately, for many people in the AIOS, this was a thorn in the flesh while we were working closely together. The other time we worked closely was him along with me and Dr. Lahani when we organized the AIS meeting at the Geo Convention Center in mid-2022. Again, we worked very closely. He accused me of taking impulsive decisions. I accused him of being extremely slow in reaction time to any crisis. But I think between the two of us, we balanced each other. His food habits are quite rigid as well. Of course, he's a strict vegetarian, but few people know that he doesn't take any other drink as well. If really pushed, he may have some coconut water, but certainly no aerated drinks, no tea, no coffee. So it becomes very easy to order when we are together. Varun, you are a role model for so many youngsters to follow. If they really get to know you and imbibe even a tenth of your good habits, your incorruptibility, your passion for doing the right thing always, I think we'll have better doctors in Maharashtra. I wish you all the best today on your special day.
Yeah. So thank you to Dr. Maskati sir for sharing his, let's say, connections, friendship, camaraderie, and experiences about Dr.
Just Vardhaman, I want to interrupt you.
Yes, sir. Please.
Sir, this fact is really we many times we discuss. Sir, don't bend. So how you take the people along with you? Because in the organization you have to, you cannot you cannot tell that I am right all the time. You have to take all the people along with you. So how you manage all those things?
Good
No,
question.
ultimately what happens, no, if you say, if you are right in the sense that not I'm telling that what I'm saying is right, but if you are sincere and honest, then whosoever it is, ultimately they realize, because I know even my worst enemy in AIOS, I will not name, but he also, because some other people told me that in private they have, I mean, he has, I mean, says, agreed that that अरे नायक जैसा तो आदमी, ईमानदार आदमी मिलना मुश्किल है, but whenever we sitting together in a meeting, diagonally opposite. But otherwise, this I said, नहीं तुम बोलते हो गलत बोल रहे हो, बोला नहीं, this is what he has said so many times. Even recently, one company fellow also came and told me that there was one person, I mean, I think probably it will not be right to tell, but then that one person, he told me that I came to know about Dr. Nayak later on, that what type of person is he. Had I known this earlier, I would not have contested against him. I said, तुम झूठ बोल रहा है, बोलता नहीं sir, why should I tell you this lie? So this is what, so means these things at least give me some satisfaction. ठीक है, means even if people are fighting against me, they are means in the meeting they fight, but at least if they appreciate, that gives me satisfaction. And this is how probably what Dr. Santosh asked me just now, that if you are doing right thing, then one day or other they will also appreciate that अरे ये जो करता है वो ठीक है, अपने फायदे के लिए नहीं करता. This is what the bottom line is.
Absolutely. Very well said, sir. Yes, great. So actually, with all this contribution that you have done to your ophthalmic career, to the societies at large, of course, and you inculcated so many hobbies, as we know. And I think what I have overall seen is that I mean, it was actually for many people, they may not be aware that sir is into so much of sports throughout his life. And for every decade, sir has actually dedicated that decade to a sport. So in 20s, sir did rowing. I think many people may not know that sir has done rowing in 20s, has done swimming in 30s, has played table tennis in 40s, badminton in 50s, and now running and marathon in 60s. And in 70s, sir is still deciding what new sport he's going to take up now. So, sir, please tell us, like, were you always a sports person? As of course, I understand from your friend, Dr. Sharma, sir, that you were always into sports when you were in school. But how did you keep up by reinventing new hobbies and doing it all these decades?
No, one other thing I will tell you, that in school, the games were inculcated because it was a compulsory for everyone. Because it was a residential school. There were total 6 batch, 360 students. All were divided in a group of 22, means each entire school. And they were allotted every day, either football, or say go to ground number 3, play football. Go to ground number 2, play hockey, or you go for athletics, or you go for today for cross country. So like that, every day, by force, we have to 1 hour we have to spend for sports. And in the hostel itself, the table tennis and carom board, these two were the only games which are available in the house itself. So you're always exposed, and especially that time. So that's how you develop interest, and ultimately, because that, and because in the beginning, I think probably you rightly picked up that in the beginning, swimming, and then later on rowing in college, MBBS days, then swimming, and later on uh, table tennis. Table tennis I went into because I was exposed in the beginning, but later on when my children started showing interest in table tennis, then I used to play for sometimes 2-3 hours with them, coming back from hospital and playing table tennis with them for 3 hours. After some time, within 6 months, told me, Papa, अब आपके साथ मजा नहीं आता है. Then I said, okay, now it's time for coach. And then I engaged some coach, and ultimately they played even in national, state, and national level.
Oh,
So this is how, and when they basically, means I think not I will say that discarded, but when they abandoned me from table tennis, then I switched to badminton. And when my neck surgery was done, then the doctor said, now you don't play badminton. So then ultimately shifted to marathon. So this is how it happened, because I could never sit quiet without sports.
That's also a great thing for all the young ophthalmologists to learn, sir, because I think this, in a way, work-life balance, giving importance to yourself. Yes,
Just
Professor.
again one question: how the this fitness helps you in your practice, sir, your life? What is your experience? Why you
No, no,
pursue this at such a means older age also?
no, fitness always, because you see, you feel more energetic. That is for sure. You don't think that because of that you are tired, because that gives you energy. And earlier, even I myself, I used to think that running is a boring exercise, boring, because there is hardly, say, if you play badminton, tennis, table tennis, anything, then every shot when you score or you lose point, there is excitement. You start shouting. But in running, there is nothing like that. But later on, when I started running, then in that also, because you get a kick, you get that endorphin secretion, and so
Yeah,
always always it gives you good feeling, and you continue.
good,
Yeah,
good.
great, sir. Sir, I think how many marathons have you run so far, sir?
Uh, I think after that, means I started in 2013. So after that, only COVID twice means it didn't take place, means in 21 and 22.
Yeah,
So yeah, so apart from that, all I have done.
every year. Oh, that's
And
great.
only once I could do. I mean, I did full, because when I chose to do full, then some of my doctors in my hospital started telling, "Arey, this you should not do, because do you know this is not for human. 42 kilometers is not for human being. This is only for those who are professional runners or athletes." So then I got disheartened. But one good advice I got from one of the another runner who is an internal medicine doctor. He said, if you want to participate in full marathon, don't apply for both.
Okay.
Otherwise, you will last day you will shift to this. So I did that, and that's how I had to join that full marathon, and I did. I'm happy that at least I completed.
Absolutely, sir. It is, I mean, of course, it is a test of mental and physical, both endurance, actually, when you do a full
Yes, it,
marathon.
it it also gives you mental strength, because every time you used to think, "अरे क्यों दौड़ रहे हैं इतना, क्यों ये है?" But then I read somewhere about that. Don't think about today. Just think when the last day you will cross the finish line. Then that happiness, and unless you cross that finish line, you cannot get that happiness. So that was the thing which was driving me always for marathon.
Great, sir. So, with all these things that you have done, ophthalmology, AIOS, hobbies, how did you find time for the family?
Family, I think I have spent time, because when my children were small, every day I used to either take them to school or pick them up from the school. And in the beginning, I used to play, as I said, no, that in the beginning I used to take them early morning, 6 o'clock, for swimming. And later on, when they shifted to table tennis, then I used to come at, say, early from the hospital, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, and then pick them from a school, go directly to the sports complex and play for 3 hours, 4 hours table tennis, like that. So always there was some driving force that okay, there, and always, miss, games and sports will never tire you. I can assure anyone that you feel that I am tired, but then that gives you more energy.
Absolutely. So, I think engaging in sports and activities along with your children is also a great way to keeping up with your hobbies and also spending time with your family. So,
Yes, and also I was, because to some extent I was so happy that now I feel happy that I spend so much time with my children, because I don't know how many of you know that my wife was working for Air India, and she had flying duties. So sometimes she used to be out of Mumbai for 14, 15 days. When she used to go to New York, that time it was 14, 15 days flight. So, so so I had to take care of them. Even I used to miss this. I think, I'm sure probably Chitra might have told you or not. Then I used to even sometimes make my daughters, not sometimes, always, choti.
yes.
And she used to tell me कि अरे नहीं नहीं मम्मी अच्छा नहीं बनाती, पापा आप बना दो.
So, sir, on the same line, your daughter wanted to speak something to you.
Arey,
So, so now we will just have her all with us. So I hope that this is again visible. Yes. Yes, sir.
Who is Dr. Barun Kumar Naik? To most, he's probably a doctor, maybe your teacher, editor, author, researcher, clinician. He probably is just the guy who organizes and speaks at conferences. He's filled many shoes and given his best to each and every role. However, to me, he's dad. He's the person who's always been there for me, no matter how busy his schedule. Be it from learning to braid my hair for school as a young kid, or dropping us off and picking us up from school most days of the year, taking us to ping pong practice, for having the patience to teach us to drive, or just taking dance lessons with me at Shamrock Tower. He's always been there for me. If you spend some time with him, you realize he's a simple person, kind, generous, intelligent, and has a settled sense of humor. He is a true servant at heart. Dad, you're an inspiration for me each and every day. There's no other person that I think deserves this award more than you. Love you, Dad.
Yeah. So it's
Who is Dr. Barun Kumar Naik?
always 1 second.
To most, he's probably a doctor. Maybe.
Yes. So, sir, of course, I think for a father, I think listening to from the daughter is always very special. Yeah, the father and the daughter always has a unique bond.
yes, yes.
Sir, and again, on the same lines, we also have something from your son as well. I've had pleasure of knowing Shivam also for a few years now because of sir. And also Shivam wanted to speak about you, sir. 1 second. Yeah.
Looking back, there are two things about Dad that have fascinated me. First is his discipline and the way he prioritizes family. And he is someone who's tried to inculcate discipline in us by practicing it. He's always the first one up at home, and he's ensured that we are always there sharp at 6 a.m. for our swimming classes. He then took up table tennis to become our practice partner so that we take it up as a serious sport. Despite his demanding work schedule, he's always been there for us, ensuring that we are picked up from school, we're there for all our table tennis practices, and he's even moved or cancelled his clinics so that he's there for our matches. He's always there celebrating with us in our success and has always been our pillar of strength on our bad days. The second thing that stands out about him is his lifelong commitment to learn. You will always see Dad with a stack of paper when he's leaving office. It is a printout of research reports that he needs to study at home in the evening. And it is something which is a constant with him. He's deeply passionate about everything that he is studying, and he goes in depth about it. Be it something like his healthy eating or the diet plans that he's working on, or even just picking up sports and the way he passionately follows them. First, he picked up table tennis, then badminton, and now in his 60s, he picked up marathon travel. Even this year, he picked up a new hobby, that is to learn typing. His quest for knowledge and new skills are unparalleled. He's a kind, humble, and a genuine human being, both in speech and practice, and has always been a source of inspiration all my life. He is my hero, and he truly deserves this award.
Yes. Thank you to both Shivam and your daughter for sharing their feelings, sir. And that really shows that what you said about the work-life balance, that you have practiced it in your own life and not only preaching it to us. So I think that is a great role model for like a young father like me. I have two daughters who are young. So I think this is something that I should definitely learn from you.
It's really heartening to listen to to the children, and I didn't know that they are going to talk.
Yes, sir. So now, sir, before we go to the what we call as a rapid fire round, I think I would like to open it to the MOS team if they have any questions to ask you. Uh, so first, I think we'll start with our president, Dr. Agarwal, sir. Also, he has asked very interesting
Yeah,
questions. Yes, sir.
yeah. It's very inspirational, sir. Your life story. We have so much to learn, our youngsters. Definitely, it will help in long run. Actually, what I come out with your life story is the ethical practice, punctuality, discipline, honesty in your work, and sheer hard work that pays in long run. Also, you have explained about the work-life balance. That's also very important in today's era. And whatever post you have or whatever you want to do to the best possible with sincerity. That also I follow in my practice also. And I like your simplicity and great thinking, your fitness, so many virtues you have. Really, you are a complete man. And also, I am following the same steps. I am such a
Sir, I think you got muted. Yeah.
okay. So just I want to ask one or two questions. How do you manage your multitasking? Because so many things you are doing in one day or in your this same time. So how you manage and what is your message to all of us? Because we are also doing solo practice, many things we are managing.
No, it means I sometimes, if there are a lot of things I have to do, then I jot it down on a piece of paper, and then later on means go on tick marking that okay, this is done, this is done, this is done, like that. But whether I am traveling, whether I am going to hospital, whether I am talking to something, but then there are certain things which always keeps on hovering in my mind. Always at that time, if some problem is there or something I have to do, and you will not believe that early morning, around say 3 o'clock, when you are in light sleep, then you get more dreams. That time, sometimes I get answers to those certain things. अरे उसको ऐसे लिखना चाहिए. Like sometimes I have to prepare some new type of talk. Then what to talk? Then it doesn't. So but keep on reading. But say for 10 days, nothing comes out concrete. Then suddenly during sleep, means early morning, something will come. अरे उसमें like this I should write. This I should this point. This point. This point. Immediately when I get up, first thing I do that I write down those points, that otherwise it will again vanish and disappear. So I write down, and then because sometimes that gives me a clue, and that really gives me a lead. So it's always, it may probably in my mind, if something is there, it's always there in my mind. It never goes off my mind. So that probably helps me in doing everything.
And second is what is your opinion when a person should retire from surgical work or from a clinical work? Means is there any retirement or many people say अरे बस हो गया बस काम बंद करना है अभी enjoy करना है life को. What is your thinking?
No, probably I will slightly differ. That it's not that because when, say, sometimes when you are young, you have compulsion to practice because you have to earn money for the family, and you have to say bring up your children and everything. You have to support your family. But after some time, once you are old, then that time, if you don't need that, still I think no one should completely retire if he is capable. Because what I have realized that if your brain is sitting idle, then you develop all those old age disease. The aging process will be faster. The Alzheimer and other things will come faster. So as long, and plus, say when you are working hard, you will feel अरे मेरे को आराम मिलता है, then I should have means I will take rest. But when you will, is that type of person who is always working, when you get some rest after say only couple of days, you will be impatient. now what should I do? So I think one should not retire completely, but definitely one should slow down, and at that time some kind of hobby you should acquire. I mean, you should shift to those hobbies more, because now I have even started telling some people are really happy that for giving talks in conferences and other things. I mean, I say no. I say now enough is enough. Now I should do something different. So, but then there are some people who really catch me. So that is there. This is what I feel, that one should not retire completely, and because
Yeah.
otherwise, no, it becomes the idle brain really degenerate fast.
Yeah.
This is a fact. It's a well known fact.
Sir, last question. What you would like to become if you are rebirth, if you happen to be a rebirth?
ये this question I also, that कि अगर मैं बच्चा हो जाता तो अभी मैं कैसे जिंदगी differently I would have done. Then in that, definitely now I don't know why, but I feel, because I was not inclined to become doctor. I never wanted to be doctor. I never studied even biology till my higher secondary. So after that I took biology, and because I was asked to do that, because in mathematics I was very comfortable, very happy. So probably now at this stage, I think if I get opportunity, I would not become doctor, and I would like to be a scientist, something like that. If opportunity gets, if I get, means if I so whatever possible, I would have probably thought of going in that line, because that time there was, because when we were student, that time even so many avenues were not available for the as a profession, because now even the certain profession which that time were looked upon, is a down, this thing were looked upon. So now everything is taking a front seat, everything, you name anything and everything is probably you can excel in that, and there are organized sector in that, organized training, and so much of professionalism in each and every profession. So that time either only doctor or engineer, or just basic science, you do graduation and post graduation and become either IAS or join some means those services.
Yeah. Over to Vardhaman, please.
But one thing I always now, even after this, I never, if I get opportunity, I don't want to become an bureaucrat.
So that is probably against your
Yeah.
let's say principles.
Mindset.
That will make it very difficult for you to practice it. So thank you, Dr. Agarwal sir, for such nice questions. We'll go to our honorary secretary, Dr. Atulji, please.
Sir, good evening, sir. It's indeed
evening,
a
good
very good opportunity for all of us to listen you. You have a huge fan following, and I am also one of them. And so many, you are an idol for thousands, and I am also one of them. I remember the first time we interact when I was Amrata district secretary. We called you for a perimetry session, and it went for 5 to 6 hours, and we were all surprised. How come a person is so dedicatedly teaching, and we were we were get exhausted, but you are still answering the questions, and the show was going on. The second incident I remember, when I was thinking, what was my Mumbai first marathon. I was thinking why I am running, whether I should complete or not. मेरे से होगा कि नहीं होगा. And I was in line up in that F line, and the person next to me is you. And and then I asked you, you said it will तेरे से हो जाएगा, nothing to worry, and that really gives a kick. And one thing I just want to know, sir, such a lot of huge, you are getting so much post, you had been to so much followers, so many thought you as an idol, but still you managed to stay so grounded and humble. And we saw so many people a little bit get in a higher post, and then they will see the change in their attitude, their talk, or their and the way they communicate. But I always found you very grounded, very humble. I just want to know the secret behind this.
No, thank you, Atul, for this comment. And means I think I was never, means I felt myself, means you see, what you call means, say, being means I was proud of my whatever I did, but not means something not in bad sense. That I was happy that I did all those things, but always I used to think I am nothing. There is nothing great in me. There's nothing like that. So why people are doing that? So I was just as simple and common man like others, and maybe because of my humble background from my family.
Maybe. Yes, sir.
And even that school, in that school, we were taught to do all our work on our own. We used to clean toilets, everyone by rotation. There used to be rotation for say 20 people in one hostel. So each person was given some responsibility, and that it used to rotate every day, one day by one circle, one step. So even say brooming the entire hostel, means one room, two room, veranda, this thing, then cleaning bathroom, then cleaning toilets, and serving food, cleaning utensils, because not everyone used to clean their utensils on their own. So that everyone is given duty that today you will clean this, you will clean. These three people will clean together. So like that. So those things, in your formative age, if it is done, probably that never disappears. That never disappears.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Over to yes, over to Dr. Mandar, sir, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
It was an honor and pleasure and big learning for all of us to listen to your life story. And it was, I mean, I have been fortunate to recently work with sir when he been the president of Glaucoma Society of India, and Pune hosted the annual conference, and I was the organizing secretary. So there are a few instances which I would like to share and which probably throw light on what he is. So when I took over, we decided to have the Glaucoma Society conference. I was the organizing secretary. There were a few warnings sent to me saying that you are going to work with one of the most toughest persons you can ever have as president or as a senior. And I knew sir for a long time, from distance, of course. But in fact, I would say it was a golden opportunity for me to interact with him. And through those interactions, learn a lot of things in organization, in the way you conduct yourself, and so many other things that have already been expressed. There is one small instance I would like to share. This is one night before the conference, and the trade arrangements were still not in place. I was with sir till about 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the night, because we had to get everything ready for the next day. Unfortunately, there were few hassles in organizing the trade stalls, etc. And then we decided that probably we'll meet the next day early morning about 6:30 or so. Somehow it happened that I was not very I could not go to sleep, really speaking, because I could see that things were not in place. So I happened to get up at 4:30 in the morning and walk down to the conference area, and I saw him standing there, directing the workers in finishing their job and talking to the company people, and giving them a ear. And I think that says a lot about his tremendous commitment. Even at this age, he being the president of the organization could have easily told somebody or delegated that work to somebody, but he himself, like they say, the captain always leads from the front. And I saw that in action, literally, on that day. And these are small things from instances from which you learn a lot. So I must thank you, sir, for that, and for a lot of things which were unsaid through our interactions. And I must commit, and I must in fact say this, that I found you the most easy person to work with, because you embody all the qualities that probably I look up to. the discipline, the punctuality, the forthrightness, and the frankness, and you don't hesitate to call a spade a spade. So I think these are some things which I always admire, and I don't have any specific questions because a lot has already been discussed. And I wish you, madam, and your family the best of health. And we hope that we keep on learning from you, not only in ophthalmology, but also in life. And one more, just one last thought, that you being part of so many sports activities in itself is a big inspiration for a person like me who loves sport. Unfortunately, I have never been able to be part of any one sport, but that in itself is a big inspiration, and I hope that I can at least try to emulate part of what you've achieved, your tremendous achievements. So once again, best wishes to you, to your family, and thank you, Dr. Vardhaman, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mandar. Thank you, Mandar, for these kind words. And first time, I think you must be remembering, we met first time closely in that Gadkari's house.
Yes, yes.
You
I do
came
remember.
for yes, yes.
Yeah, I had taken interview, your interview, which which was in in the print, in the POS magazine poster. I was the editor. This was in 2008 or 2009.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes, absolutely. So I knew a lot of your background, at least till that point of time. Of course, then there are a lot of things which happened later. And there is one more instance which I would like to share is I attended your first research methodology workshop. It was held in Hinduja. I think it was 2005 or 6, if I'm not wrong. It was a 3-day workshop, very intense. And you were there throughout the 3 days, from morning to 8 in the night. And I wondered how can you have so much stamina, because it was extremely difficult for I was pretty young then, but it was extremely difficult to keep up with the amount of knowledge, or amount of discussion, or amount of things that were there. And you were active in almost all of the all throughout this thing, in the academic discussions and other things. So that was the first time I actually saw you up close, and I really admired you for that zeal, that dedication, for that enthusiasm, and that like you say, you just throw yourself into that particular purpose, or whatever that you're doing. I think that in itself is something which is extremely inspiring, and I mean, I can't say anything more than that.
Thank you. It's so heartening.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Mandar sir, for sharing all these nice incidences which will inspire everyone, because through this we understand it is like, as you said, leading by example actually. So thank you. So over to Dr. Aditi now, please.
I would just like to share my first interaction with sir. I'm sure sir may not be remembering that. It was actually on Mumbai airport. We were traveling for some conference and the flight got delayed. So there were many people there waiting at the airport, waiting for the same flight, because everybody was traveling for the same conference. I was pretty new in my private practice, fresh out from my fellowship. So when I saw sir, I was like really I wanted to talk to him, but then I was like, I was not sure if he will talk. Like when you're fresh out from your fellowship, like he's kind of a role model. So you still have that hesitation. You want to talk, but you're not sure if you are supposed to talk. So still I approached him, and like I was really, it was so nice to talk to him. The simplicity and everything was really nice. Like it was kind of a surprise for me, because not many people at who are leaders at AIS level are so simple and humble like him, and they connect to so many like junior with the same simplicity. So that was a really nice experience. I just had one question. Sir, I would like to ask, I'm sure you must have experienced so many, like, as you have tasted the success, I'm sure you must have tasted failures also at organizational levels or professional levels. Maybe you can just give one or two pearls for the youngsters to just overcome those big failures and come back with the same energy and enthusiasm. Maybe just one or two pearls for that.
No, I think failures always, because if you are working, then not that always you will get success. So failures are bound to happen. And but there are two things. If you are sincere in your effort and work, and number one, and number two, if you analyze later on and learn from that failure, then this is what is important. Because even in surgery also, sometimes I used to tell my students that ab tum इसे like observe, and whatever you observe, and committing mistake is not a crime. But if you have committed mistake and learned a lesson and try to rectify that in future, then that job is done. But if you have not taken not learned the lesson, then is something which is a point of concern. So if even if there are failures, one should, and in the beginning, because I remember there were so many failures, and that time, because in the beginning when I started practice, even the right now, the endophthalmitis is almost a rarity. But that time it was not that rare. So if any patient develops endophthalmitis after surgery, then means you feel completely devastated. That because that time even the treatment also was not that much that you do immediately vitrectomy, inject intravitreal injections and everything so that you can salvage the eye. That time means if this happens, it means you are doomed and the eye is doomed. But that definitely means it's a part and parcel of everyone who is doing practice. And I also had that share. And sometimes I really I don't miss it. Sometimes you don't want to remember those things, but still you cannot forget. And I never forget those some of the incidences which had happened in past, these early days. So if you, from any mistake, failure, if you have learned a lesson, the job is done. And if a person is sincere, you will not feel guilty of yourself.
Great, sir. I think great pearls. So now, sir, we'll come to the last and very quick session of the rapid fire round. So you have to give very quick answers. So your favorite sport of all the sports that you have played so far in your life?
Badminton.
Oh, badminton. Oh, great. Your
But watching is cricket, because cricket you can, yeah,
enjoy watching. Yes.
enjoy watching.
Your favorite movie, sir?
Favorite movie. Means all those, means I will tell you that when in the early age, whatever the favorite movies like Sholay,
Okay. Oh, great.
एक दूजे के लिए.
Exactly,
So those, because I will talk only when, because these days we really, I don't enjoy movie. Just simply watch movie, but don't enjoy anything.
Great. So your favorite vacation destination?
Vacation destination. Now it's nothing except going to my children every time.
And your favorite
And then wherever they want to go after that, that is the job.
and your favorite food, sir? The go-to food that you like the most?
The simplest of food, like simple dal, chawal, roti, sabji. That's all. Nothing. Sometimes you will be surprised. I go even for some marriage party. There we know that at least till 10 o'clock we will not get food. So sometimes I eat at home and simple food, and then I go.
Sir, your favorite non-ophthalmic book?
Non-ophthalmic book is which one should I tell? Because no, because I used to love Hindi story. So in the Hindi story, there is one which is I always try to quote, Mati ki Murte. So I don't know. Mati ki Murte.
Okay. Oh, great. I think
That is written by Ram Briksh Benipuri, who is a Hindi writer.
oh, great.
Means Mati ki Murti means it's a means
Murti.
it's yeah some.
Sir, the most
But
memorable.
one story, I
Right.
don't know. I always so many times I am reminded of that story. That is that single story, which is Har Ki Jeet. I don't know whether you have
Easy.
read this. It's by Sudarshan.
We will definitely get those books and
या
read.
या अभी तो सब कुछ गूगल पे तुरंत आप डालो हार की जीत सुदर्शन, पूरी स्टोरी आ जाएगी.
So your most memorable day in your professional life. Most
Most
memorable in your professional life.
mm,
There are many.
professional yeah means but definitely when the day when I got my post graduation degree. Unfortunately, there was no function because that time I don't know what was there, a strike or something, so there was no function in AIMS.
So your most memorable day in your personal life.
बस एक ही when I met my would-be wife.
So 3 things about Dr. Nayak sir that most of us don't know yet, because now we have explored a lot and still more, and it will surprise us.
What is that?
एक तो सर ने बता दिया डांस. we were not knowing this.
So I think we were not knowing about dance. Other sports also, what sir discussed. I think those were definitely a revelation. Sir, and basically the 3 most important ingredients of parenting, because I saw that you have given so much of importance to it.
I have to answer.
Hard to answer, I'm sure.
No, I have to answer. No?
Yes.
No. Then definitely spend time with them. Number one, as much as you can, because this time will not come back in later. So once that is gone, then it will not come back. So spend time, and the best way is, I used to also teach them plus play with them in sports, and try to be as much as possible with them. That is for sure. That time there was nothing was priority except being with them.
Yeah. So the best advice you have received in your life?
Best advice?
Single most.
Get married to Chitra.
Okay. Okay, sir. And sir, I think as we come to the end of this very, very pearl-filled session of MOS Legendary Masterclass with Dr. B.K. Nayak, sir. So first of all, sir, thank you so much for sharing all your life pearls. We have learned a lot, and thank you for being such an open book to share your pearls in the way that you have expressed. I can definitely say from all the association that I've had, I have learned so much from you at every step. And thank you so much, sir, from the bottom of my heart for all the teachings that you have imparted personally to me in the last decade, and also today for all the members at large. So we wish you, sir, best of health, and best of health to your family. We wish you to be as healthy as you are now, and we wish that you continue to embody new hobbies in the next decades to come. So thank you again, sir. And we will go to the last words from you, and then we will go to the special vote of thanks, please.
Last word, I don't have anything to say after listening so much, and you have really, you surprised me by bringing so many people. And I thought, because when I attended that Quresh Muscati's, I thought he had so many things. Now I have nothing. But at least you miss at least you let me feel that it was not right. So there are so many things which you brought out and which was there. Thank you, and thank you, Moss, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. So I think we'll go to Dr. Aditi now, who is Secretary of Scientific Committee for the vote of thanks.
On behalf of Team MOS, I would sincerely like to thank Dr. B.K. Nayak sir for accepting our invitation and sharing his life pearls. The hardworking nature, extreme ethical practice, organizational skills, honesty, special interest in research, and almost everything about you, sir, is so inspirational. And that everything is embedded in extreme simplicity and humbleness. That is something which is very unique these days. I feel he's the real role model for all of us, especially the young generations. Thank you once again for inspiring us and sharing your life pearls with us. Thank you to all the friends and family members of Dr. Nayak sir for sharing their experiences. We got to know so many unknown facts about his life, and they were really exceptionally inspirational. I would also like to thank Team Entod for the support and Rahulji for the technical support. I would like to thank all the audience who have joined us on different platforms. And of course, last but not the least, our whole Team MOS, who is like ably guided by Dr. Santosh Agarwal sir, our president, Dr. Atul Kadhane sir, who is the secretary, Dr. Mandar Paranspe sir, and Vardhaman. Thank you so much, everyone, and good night. Yes.
Yeah, and actually, I would like to also extend my heartfelt gratitude to Chitra ma'am for helping me in everything, and also Shivam for spending time and talking to me about this. So thank you to everybody. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Vardhaman. Vardhaman really means you've done such a hard work no, really, because it shows that it's such a hard work, and it was not a simple task.
Thank you. Sir. I think we learn from you, so we try to emulate you, sir. Thank you.
और भी बीके नायक सर बनना है सर, हमको बनाना है.
I want that there should be ahead of me, and so with that thing, last I said no, that my wish is that I want at least few people from Maharashtra should come forward and should achieve the highest thing.
Yeah, बिल्कुल sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Okay. Good night. Good night, everyone. Good night.